It's Sunday. It's unseasonably warm, both yesterday and today, and I'm a lot bigger. I've put on a solid 15 pounds, actually close to 16, almost 16 pounds now, since the last video I made. And strength is up. The whole point to it is people would look at that and they would think, why would you put yourself through this again? Why do this to yourself at this age? What is, is it some kind of self-esteem thing? And it's not. It's kind of just, it's just because I can, and I don't intend to stay big. I'm going to put on a little bit more, and then I want to get some videos moving some seriously heavy weight, some decently heavy weight, to explain how I actually trained in the beginning to acquire this muscle, this mass, when it was fresh, when it was new, when it was my first go around. Because a lot of the stuff that I share with you guys are things I do now, and that's a lot different from the way that I trained initially to get there. So yeah, there's a lot of useful stuff you guys can get out of that, but if you really want to put yourself out and try and put the size on and get that density, I can't reproduce that density without going back to the older ways I used to train. So those videos are going to come, and they'll be, basically what I did for my mass, to gain mass. And it all involves the big three. It's centered around the big three, with some alteration to make it more suitable and more efficient for what I was after, which was strength and size. So that's what I've been doing. The other thing is I think is going to be pretty interesting to share with you guys is the way that I eat to throw this size on very quickly. You have to remember that I've had this size previously, so all those additional nuclei are developed in there and already grown. They just atrophied. So I have more muscle, even though it's atrophied, there's more muscle there for me to bring back than what I had when I first started and had to fight and scratch and claw to acquire. So it's a lot easier second go around, and that's basically what muscle memory is, and I've explained it before. You probably realize that. But the food issue, I'm going to be very, very honest with you guys. I'm going to show you how to do it kind of on the cheap. There's no real cheap way. No matter what people try to tell you, there's no really cheap way to do it. It's a baller's game. There's no real cheap way to do it. No real cheap way. And the less organized you are, the more expensive it's going to be. But I'm going to show you what I'm doing and how I've done it and how I would eat just to throw on some quick size and some quick mass. Is it the healthiest way to eat? No, it absolutely is not. But it's the real. It's a lot of the food, like I've told you before, if you're trying to gain the weight, you want less fiber, more or less. Basically, you still want some fiber, but you're going to want a lot less fiber. You want foods that are going to be more easily digested and easily assimilated and don't have a high caloric cost for getting that done, and getting that nutrition and those calories into your body, into the bloodstream. You want to be able to absorb as much of it as possible. You want it to be efficient and effective. You don't want to eat a lot of complicated foods that are going to be very difficult to digest and require a lot of work and burn a decent percentage of the calories that they have to offer, burn those up in the process, because that's how it works. Now, if you wanted to get lean, that's exactly what you want to do. But if you want to get big, a lot of the shit that you want to eat to get big isn't going to be, the top 10 most healthiest foods you can eat. Some of it's not bad, but some of it's going to be, especially most of my carbohydrate choices and things like that, it's going to be cheap shit. It's going to be not the healthiest way to eat. But it's a temporary thing. I wouldn't recommend anybody eat like that long term. It's a means to an end. It's a quick means to an end. It's the most efficient. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Most efficient and effective way to do it. Not considering that it's basically not a healthy, diet. So I want to share that to you. And the training videos are going to be cool. And like I said, I want to put a little bit more size. And then I'm going to come back down, of course, because I'm too old to be walking around with these body weights. It feels nice. I'm not going to bullshit you, but You know, in the back of my head, I'm still thinking my body's got it, my heart has to deal with all this excess weight, and the way that I'm eating now, all this food, the shit that I'm eating to put this size on. And I'm going to get some of those videos up today. And I have some really, I think, golden little nuggets of information to share that you can take away and use these tactics and angles and approaches for mass gain, or for if you wanted to lean down and get caught up. You know, you're not going to really outgrow these things. You can always return to them here and there when they serve your purposes for some of them, and some of them you can consistently add into your regimen. So that's what I'm up to. That's what I've been doing. Just putting the size on, back to big. And it feels pretty good. I'm pretty good size right now. I'm pretty solid, pretty big. We'll see how long I stay this big. Like I said, I want to put on a little bit more size, a little more weight. Interestingly enough, I'm also a little bit leaner. We'll get into that later. Anyhow, that's it. Just want to touch base with you guys. I'll get this up, let you know I'm still alive and kicking. Take care. Hope you've had an awesome weekend, and stay tuned, because I got a bunch of shit coming now.